Hello everyone and welcome to my college experience part 14, the moment that had been prepared for. So guys, I finished college for the year, it's completely over now and I don't really know what to think. The title of this video is actually based off a quote from the Fourth Doctor as during Logopolis. I've got the episode here, here we go, I do. In Logopolis, where at the end he's on this telescope and he falls from this great height. He dies, and then his last words were...
It's the end. But the moment has been prepared for.
But yeah, the fact that college is over in total terrifies me. But then on the other hand, I get more lie-ins, so it's difficult. Plus, now my bus pass won't work during the 6 weeks holiday, so I can't go to the town centre for free, which sucks. Actually, I'm not sure if it works or not. I don't know. I'm not sure. It might not. I don't think it does though. But in part 13 I was going over all the extra stuff, you know, the side missions with college. The little extra things that weren't relevant to the lessons, but sort of were to college life in general, such as the WJC interview, the theatre play for next year, and also the Dalek costume I had to wear for one night, which was amazing. But anyways, in this part, I'll be talking about how college ended for me. Right? Unless I'm wrong, because I could be, because I don't know exactly how college does this and prepares you for the next year, right? But the idea right now is that this video will take you up to just before my results. So you'll see everything else before my results. Part 15 will be the results. There might be a part 16 tying up the loose ends of my first year in college. Otherwise, part 15 will be the last. But on the 12th of June, there was a house party, hosted by one of the girls in my year 11 class, because it was someone who was also in the class's birthday. If you're watching this, I don't know if I'm allowed to say your name, on camera, or online, so I'm playing it safe. But if you are watching, it was an amazing time. I don't know if you would be watching it though, to be fair. But there we go, just in case you are. Now, I want to say, like, I'm quite an old-fashioned introvert. I had never been to a house party before, but I really wanted to go because I thought, you know, I'll try a new experience. And we do like experiences on this channel. We've got to have a first experience and experience everything. Now, I got the address on the Snapchat, and we walked down. It was about 20 minutes away from my house and about 10 minutes away from my old school. But I still couldn't find it, so the people already at the party had to go and look for me. Although it turns out I was about 2 minutes away from their house, so it was all good. It was like there, and I was sort of up there, so I had to go down, and yeah. But we got into the house, and we sat down. Now, it was quite nice seeing a few people from comp again in the same room, well, several rooms, and we were sat outside at one point, and it was really nice. Harry gave me 2 of his cans of cider. I think it was cider. Yeah, it was very nice. I can't remember because it was, as I was writing this, it was 10 days ago, but now it's been ages ago now. But yeah, Harry was very nice doing that. Very kind of him. I didn't think to bring alcohol because, again, I had never been to a house party before. Seeing as we're talking about alcohol and we're celebrating the end of college, I got myself a lovely toffee apple cider. Lovely stuff. Now, I'd never been to a house party before, and I didn't know what to expect. We sat down, we talked, waited for the birthday girl, surprise, and greeted her, etc. Then in pure teenage fashion, we went in a group to the shop to buy some stuff. Now, I might not be trendy, I might not be socially confident, but I do have some level of common sense because I brought my wallet and my phone. I bought a bar of chocolate, which I would later dip into tonight's hot chocolate when I got in, or that night's hot chocolate when I got in. When I write the scripts, they're in that present tense, so I've got to then translate it into the past tense. But until then, though, after that, we walked back to the house when people chatted again. But we also sat outside as it got darker. That was really nice. There were loads of chairs, people were talking, it was great. There was an outside stove, right, and we cooked marshmallows on a wooden stick. Oh, it was amazing, right? I scoffed a diabetes amount of marshmallows after they'd been cooked and melted. Roasted marshmallows are heavenly. They really are. I loved this party, it was great. We were reminiscing about year 11 and talking about how 1 year of college has already gone by. Half of my college life is already over. College goes by really quickly, right? Because I've been in secondary school for 5 years. Took ages to go past that, right? I'm already halfway through college. It's university next year, well, the year after next year. It's scary how time flies, honestly. I want to stay young.
You're being childish.
Well, of course I am. There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Now, one of the other girls was sharing some rum that they brought. So I had a rum and a Coke at one point, which was very nice. And I even did a shot of some sours thanks to Harry. I owe him one. The alcohol I consumed at that party was because of Harry. I definitely owe him. But I was at that party from about 7 to about 10:30, and I got home just before 11. Now, I won't lie, I didn't think I would enjoy it at first because I am terrible at conversation making, but I loved it. I loved that party. On camera, I'm really confident in, expressing myself, hands flying all over the place to make my point, but in real life, I'm a lot more, bit more shy than talking to people. But that party, made me happy, reminiscing about college, comp, we talked, and it was a genuinely decent time. 11 out of 10 would do again. It's fantastic, I can't emphasise that enough. Now, on the 16th of June, on the same day as my drama trip, my Welshback group, of whom you might remember, we had been working on an animal farm for the last 6 months for our project. We'd been working on an animal farm for the last 6 months of our project. We had an Instagram page, a Minecraft model, and our company all planned out. This is how we get paid, this is how we would do things, this is what we'd have, etc. We had to present our group PowerPoint based on the entire task for the last 6 months. So we were on from about 9 till 11. Now, because of the trip, I wasn't able to go to Welsh on this day, which wasn't a problem because we had already finished the work. In the last video I covered this play. Now for this, I woke up at about 7:30 and I got on the bus for 8. Traffic was really bad and I got into the town centre for about 9ish, meaning I was about 15 minutes late. But luckily my group hadn't started yet because they were going to be the second Welshback group to present. Were we second? Yeah, we were second because we were. Now we had all prepared what we were going to say and what slide we were going to be doing, right? I love using my phone as a digital cue card, and I'm using my phone as the auto cue right now. We knew who would say what slide, right? Because each title was colour coded. My colour was blue, was it? Yeah, my colour was blue, meaning that any slide with a blue title would represent that that's my slide and I've got to talk about that slide. Now, this was my idea and I thought it was quite a smart idea. Although a bit obvious, but it worked. We get called into the room and we set up. We had Phoebe on the laptop ready to move the slides, next slide, so on. We had our Welshback teacher and someone from the business department in our college, so they would know if our business was shit. They would know if it was. We had those as our audience, and we begin. Throughout the whole thing, I think we did alright. It was a bit sad when I was going into detail about how Minecraft was a decent platform as a model for our farm and the Euclidean blocks being a good representative of the ratio of real life space to Minecraft blocks and all that. But it worked. It did work, but it's a bit sad how serious I took Minecraft as a model. There were times when I stuttered, but I reckon we smashed it. We answered every question that they threw at us, and we did everything that they asked for. So yeah. The only downside is we had a Welsh farm in England, which Welsh isn't really prominent in England, so... But it's fine. After that, I went to McDonald's for breakfast. Now, as an employee, I want to say that the only things I am likely to buy from McDonald's are the breakfast meals, so you know, the McMuffins, the hash brown and a drink, the milkshakes and the McFlurries. Everything else I will not buy unless I'm desperate, because I'm not a fan, right? It's alright as free food on my shift break and in general, but it's not my sort of thing. Also, I promised Lewis Daly a shout out, so there you go, there's your shout out. I keep my promises. Then on the 21st of June, we had to do our solo PowerPoint. By the way, I didn't say anything bad about McDonald's, I just said what I wouldn't pay for in McDonald's, and said my favourite things from McDonald's. But anyways, we had to do our solo PowerPoints, and I hated this. I'd had a cold over those last few days, and I've been putting off making the PowerPoint, and eventually really just forgetting about it. Until the night before, when someone in my Welsh Pack group, God bless them, they text about it, and I looked like, oh shit. I told them that they saved my presentation, because they did. And I knew what I had to do. I was up at from 11 to about 1 making a PowerPoint. You know, tired, ill. It was my own fault for delaying it, but it was still agony. And at 1, I was still struggling. My head was killing. So I gave up. If you can't tell, it's sweaty. It's boiling as hell here. But I just gave up. I decided that I would finish it on the bus in the morning on the way to college. I woke up the next day and I got on the bus, working on this PowerPoint, because the thing I thought was in the morning at about 9 o'clock. So meaning I'd have to finish the PowerPoint and the script in 30 minutes. I was worrying then because I wasn't going to finish that in time. I had to write an entire script on like 20 different PowerPoint slides. I go into college and I sit down, only to realise that my PowerPoint was at 10 minutes past 2, so I had ages, which was a relief at first, but then I remembered I didn't have Welsh back because I had media first. Now, we were making a montage for the art exhibition, you know, learning Premiere Pro for our coursework next year, where we have to make, I think, our own parody or our own version of something from the BBC. I don't know. But we had to watch each other's at the end of the lesson. Everyone had proper fancy montages, you know, with their fancy text and their fancy transitions and their different shot angles, you know, all that jazz. And then there was one group. Now, I can't get into trouble if I don't mention names, don't show photos of people, or talk about them in a negative way. Like, for example, right, you know, I wouldn't be able to say that the group that made this were a few fries short of a Happy Meal because they probably smoked them. You wouldn't say anything like that because that's not a very nice thing to say. Right? That's mean. Now what I can do is show most of this, but slightly edited because faces. Oh, and the volume might be muted depending on the copyright. Remember, it's meant to be about an art exhibition. Remember that? Roll the clip. I'm not even joking. I burst out laughing. The teacher made every group send their work to her because it's part of a competition as well, because the college would use the winning one. Everyone was cringing at this, I reckon. It sounds mean, but they were messing around the whole time, and they have been since they took media, so it's on them. I don't know why I'm pointing at you, it's on them. I don't know why I'm pointing over there either, they're not in my room. They're not the kind of people I'd hang out with. But everyone else's montages were really amazing, you know, proper professional montages that could and would represent the college, right? Those were everyone else's. And then you had this that says girly and playful over Pepsi. Fancy zooms in of the drink dispenser. But anyways, after that lesson, I had 3 hours to work on my Welsh back PowerPoint and script. I managed to get it done in time. I'd had my lunch, and I'd be working for about 4 hours non-stop. Oh, and also, when the teacher took in every group's admissions, she actually told that group to not bother sending in their admissions. Even the teacher thought they were crap. But anyways, I've learnt from making this solo PowerPoint, do not procrastinate, people. Never do it. It comes back to haunt you. At this point, my head was killing me from my cold, and I was tired, and I just wanted to die. I go to the lesson, I watch one presentation of the same dude who actually I uploaded the one thing because they asked me to so they can show it at the start of the year. And I begin to do mine. Now my PowerPoint, it turned out it was 18 slides long, and then we were told they had to be about 10 minutes long. So it's stupid. Now I don't know how I was going to do that. I had a 10-minute warning about 12 slides in, and I had a final 2 minutes to blast through 8 slides. I blasted through them, and the overall time came to like 12 minutes 20 something. My teacher did tell me, I can't remember exactly. So I think I did alright. I blasted through them as quick as I could. I don't think I was penalised for time, but I wasn't happy that I had to blast through 6 slides in 2 minutes. I was not happy about that. After this, there were questions that we had to answer, like, right then, Jamie, how did you use communication to solve a problem, and can you provide an example where your team had to solve a debate? As you can tell from this, there's loads of jump cuts, and I'm recording this at different times because it's quite busy with the ending of my show coming soon. Now, these questions weren't too difficult, but you did have to sort of think on your head for this sort of thing. Eventually I was finished, I packed up, I left Welsh back, and I got a milkshake from McDonald's, and I got the bus home. It was a long day, but an interesting one. Now today, or back then as I was writing the script, was also the last day I would ever have to talk about this animal farm that I've done for 6 years of my life. So this is my official way of saying goodbye to Cabin Cwtch. Hwyl fawr i'r Cabin Cwtch. May I never have to work on a farm again. Don't get me wrong, I'd say the task... Yeah, it had its enjoyable moments, but it was very complicated and busy and quite sad because we took it very seriously, which is good for Welshback for the marks, but 6 months is a bit long for a hypothetical, imaginary horse sanctuary. Friday the 24th of June was the last day of college. As I record this, it is the 13th of July, I want to say. So, just over about 3 weeks ago now. The final continuity error. Now, because it's the end of college, at least until next year, and then we got my second year of college, which is also my final year of college, which is still quite shocking to comprehend. I wanted to celebrate, so me and Ewan organised a plan. We invited Shakina and Aramin to us. Aramin I'll be referring to as Loki. The plan was to go out to eat and bowling, but that's not all we did. We went on the 8th of July, so as I wrote this and performed this, it's now the 15th of July, so exactly a week ago. We planned to meet up at 2. I was quite early though, and I got the bus about 12, so about 40 minutes, a trip down, and I'd be there just before 1. Funnily enough, Ewan was also getting the same bus, so we both went down, we got some drinks in Poundland in typical teenager fashion, and we decided to have a few games of pool while we waited for Shakina and Loki. It was fun. It was very fun. Between us, we had 3 games. Yeah, it was 3 games, I think. The score was 2-1, right? The score was 2-1 because I potted the black and the white in one of the games. But then Loki joined us. Ewan played Loki. I don't know who won. I played Loki. I won. Yes, that's right. We did have 2 games. No, we did have 3 games because I remember telling Ewan that a 75% win percentage was good, having won 3 games overall, 2 with Ewan, 1 with Loki, and losing 1 overall to Ewan. I remember that. And then eventually Shakina joined us too. Anyways, after pool, we went bowling. I had a nice voucher that Mum gave me. I'm not sure where she got it from, but she knew she had it once I told her about the plan. And she, goes in the drawer. Oh, there you go, I got this you can use. Oh, thank you. We had 3 games each for 4 of us, so each of us would pay £10.50 for 3 games, because it's £3.50 a game. And so basically I paid 50p plus the £10 voucher, which was nice. Nice bit of saved money there. Then after that, we got to our lanes, and put our names in. Now, during the games of bowling, the names changed a lot. Didn't they, Loki? I don't want to get demonetised, so I'll only show you the one. So anyways, it was my go. After the 3 games, Shakina won 2, I won 1. Although in the game I won, I don't want to brag, I had 3 strikes in a row. So it went Shakina with 2 games won, me with 1 game won. Ariane didn't win any, but they beat Ewan, and Ewan came last. So being second in a group of 4 isn't bad, Being in the top 75% is a good deal. I'm still the best at pool, and I'll take that as a good substitute. Now after bowling, we went for dinner. Now, bearing in mind we are teenagers, where would we be most likely to go? Typical group of teenagers, where would we go to eat? Would it be A, our local McDonald's? B, Tiffins? C, chips? Or D, a middle-aged pub? Wetherspoons. Correct! D, we went to Wetherspoons. It was really nice in there. Cheap too. We sat down, we were in the corner of the pub, and we ordered. I paid on the app, the other 3 paid at the bar. We took a nice group photo for the group and for the main photo to represent this story of my college experience. Our dinner came. I had a lovely large mixed grill. Doesn't that look lovely? Eggs, sausage, pork, gammon, onion rings, and some other stuff that I can't remember. Oh, and my pint of Coke for an extra 20p, because you do get a drink with your meal, but only like a can size. And all that was just under £10 too. It's a bargain. After this, we went to McDonald's for some ice cream. We had a McFlurry. I had the Galaxy Caramel? Yeah, it was caramel. I sat and ate it, and then I went home. The end of not only a fantastic day out with some of my friends, but also the end of the first year in college. I wasn't going to add this story in part 14 initially, but I think now that's going to be everything until part 15, which should be the results. But anyways guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, have a good day, don't forget to drink hot chocolate, stay safe, have an amazing summer, and goodbye. But anyways, the next day I got... no. What? The idea right now is that this video will take you up to I had to write an entire script on making this proper professional. When I got the bus about 12:40, I reckon. No.